Buying, selling or renting real estate in the Whitsundays? You need the team that will provide you with help, experience and results. Ray White Whitsunday sales team has over 100 years experience in local real estate, which is why Ray White Whitsunday sells more real estate than anyone else. Whether it's residential sales, commercial leasing, marine or rural sales, Ray White Whitsunday have the solution. So contact Ray White Whitsunday today and get the results you deserve.
It's 8:30, time for our weekly real estate market report, thanks to Ray White Whitsundays. And this morning we're having a chat with Jeremiah Roberts, a sales agent with Ray White Whitsunday. Good morning, Jeremiah.
Good morning, Tom. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. I thought this morning we'd have a bit of a discussion about the local market conditions and how things are changing. So how is the local market performing?
Yeah, still very well, Tom. It's still really buoyant in the area. Contrary to what's happening across a lot of the rest of the country, the interest rate rises that we are having, we are still going through quite a lot of stock, and our market's still quite tight. We are still seeing that properties are coming online and going off at a rate that's still improved on what we were seeing pre-COVID in sort of 2019 and very early 2020 stage.
Yeah, a little earlier this year and certainly at the end of last year, stock was pretty tight. How's it looking at the moment?
Yeah, so we have seen so if we go back to March of this year, there is about 30% more across the board. So between 4802 and 48000, there's about a third of an increase, which is still significantly down from, again, pre-COVID figures. So we get a lot of people who are talking about what's the market doing and it's crashing through the ground. Regardless of the decline that we see, Tom, we're still dealing with numbers right now that are much improved in the area, and we're seeing still some results that are almost record results in certain streets and areas. So although there is that upside of there's a bit more around, we're still achieving really great results.
There's been a lot of chatter about the increase in interest rates of late, of course. What does that do to the market? How does that affect buyers?
The market's obviously broken up into a lot of different areas. So we've obviously got land, houses, units in body corporates and things like that. So it affects every sort of segment of the market really differently. We're finding at the moment, like the prime example of the real estate that we're selling that's most popular at the moment is your houses. That's still our largest selling in the region. With the interest rates, what sort of happened over the last 12 months since we've had the consecutive rate rises is we're seeing people who were a year ago were borrowing 800,000-900,000. They're sort of only getting pre-approved for numbers around the 6 to 650 figure. Those people who could afford the house on their income last year are struggling this year, which is what has sort of slowed the market down a little bit, I think.
And what does that do to the market?
It brings out days on market, Tom. It brings on days on market, and it means that we're adjusting expectations. For the last 2 years, a lot of vendors in the region have sort of seen exponential growth week on week, month on month. It didn't really matter. Whereas in the last few months, we've that growth has sort of segmented out and stopped. It's bringing on, instead of selling in a week or 2 weeks, typically it is taking a little bit longer than that.
We are experiencing quite a difficult time with building houses and units because of supply problems, because of all sorts of problems. Is that having an effect on land sales?
Absolutely. In particular, Tom, our any land that's sloping obviously becomes significantly more expensive to do all the form work and everything and get it ready for the build. So we're seeing that they are the stock that's sitting on the market the most across the board. It does depend on the individual block of land and what it's like, but it's definitely it's pushing people more towards the pre-built option. For the last 2 to 3 years since this COVID pandemic, we've seen that building timeframes have been pushed out, which is meaning people can't really afford to be renting and building a property over 12 to 18 months. So people are opting for that pre-built, move-in today style of property.
So a land and house package type deal.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're going in for those sort of things, and that's obviously affecting first home buyers. First home buyers at the moment, and we're talking about a market where they are getting, they still get lots of exemptions and stuff from the government, which is really good. But we are still talking about they have to wait, the better part of 12 months in most scenarios, which is affecting that bracket of the market.
All right, Jeremiah, thanks so much for your time this morning and enjoy Thursday.
No worries, Tom. You too, mate, and have a great rest of your week.
IslandFM.